Billy C here, and it is our weekly Talking Boxing with Billy C YouTube report. I got a lot of stuff to talk about today, and I'm telling you right now, I'm not going to be able to fit it all in. I only got 10 minutes here on YouTube, so you're going to have to tune into the Talking Boxing with Billy C show beginning Monday, tomorrow, from 6 to 7:30 a.m. Eastern Time at www.talkingboxing.com, or tune it in on a radio station near you. Anyway, first off, Arturo Gatti. You know, the Brazilian authorities have ruled this a suicide. But I tell you right now, it doesn't look like it. I don't know if the girlfriend or the wife or whatever she is, if she's to blame. But I'm glad that they opened it up. There was a second autopsy done in Canada, in Montreal. They're saying, no, that homicide should not be ruled out. And there's some other people doing private investigations on this matter. So this is not closed. So I wanted to get that out of the way. Another thing I wanted to get out of the way is a statement that I made last week on this very YouTube Talking Boxing with Billy C show about BJ Flores. I've been very critical of him, and I told you so. And I'm telling you now, I told you so. I told you that when they announced who he was going to be fighting on the undercard of the Hook City show, which features Roy Jones Jr. and Jeff Left Hook Lacey as the main event. Well, guess what? He's facing Mario Adrian Ordalis, who is a bum. He is a bum. He's got a built-up record. His record is 21 wins, 6 losses, 20 of those wins coming by knockout. He has fought nobody. Check him out. Punch him up on BoxRec. This is the kind of guys that BJ Flores fights. He is a fraud. If he wants to be the best cruiserweight, he's got to fight the best, and he certainly does not. How he gets off saying that he's the best wearing T-shirts that say anyone, anytime. Give me a break. BJ Flores is a joke, and anybody that values him as a world-ranked contender, I don't care about the A, B, C, D, E, F, G belts. They're all crazy because he's nowhere near a world contender. He's got to fight somebody. Fight Matt Godfrey. Fight anybody else in the cruiserweight division. How about Troy Ross? How about Herbie Hyde? How about Stevie Cunningham? How about Marco Captain Huck? Fight somebody. Anyway, enough of that. Hey, listen, I wanted to get into Friday night's fights and everything else, but I got to get into last night's fight, Saturday night in California. We might as well call it the night of the quitters, because the first quitter was Junior Witter Quitter. Give me a break. I'm a little uptight. My winning percentage went down this week, 2 points because of all these losses that took place. But he fought Devon Alexander the Great, and Alexander showed Witter that he should be a quitter because he didn't have a chance against him. Devon looked fantastic, and Witter just looked like a clumsy oaf in there, so much so that he quit. Okay, he quit at the astonishment of his own corner. All right. Following that charade, we got to see former lightweight champion, world champion Nate Campbell fight a guy, in my opinion, one of the best junior welterweights, Timothy Bradley. Listen, let's make no mistake. Timothy Bradley was well on his way to a unanimous decision in this fight, in my opinion. Here's what happened. In case you missed it, it was a headbutt. I know that the referee ruled it that there was a unintentional headbutt and then followed by a punch which caused the cut. The bottom line was, I agree with, because I had the luxury of watching a replay, I agree that it was a headbutt, unintentional. Both of their heads were coming in at several times during the first 3 rounds. But here's the problem. What Nate Campbell did was he was looking for a payday. Let's be real. He figured that it was going to be a no contest, so he tells the doctor, I can't see, I got spots in my eyes and all of this stuff. Okay, he told his corner that, stop it now. Yeah, because he wanted a no contest. He would still get paid and it would open up another door. He was clearly looking for the money here, okay? Nobody should go around and try and beat the system. We saw it with Hasim the Bum Rahman do the same thing. He got a cut and he said, I can't see. And he ends up getting a no contest in that one. Robert the Ghost Guerrera, same thing. decided that he didn't want to take a chance because he had a guy that was actually fighting with him. He says he can't see. Once you say those words, I can't see, the fight is stopped. What happened to being warriors? What happened to being real fighters? I don't want to put anybody in danger of losing their eye or anything like that, but you know what? You got to have a fighter's mentality. All these guys are doing is thinking about the money. It's bad for the sport, and it's bad for them. I'm glad it blew up in Nate Campbell's face. I kind of lost respect for the Galaxy Warrior, and it's a guy that I really like. I picked Bradley in this fight, but I was shocked at Nate Campbell. That was no warrior move what he did. What happened to guys like Arturo Gatti, who literally his eyeballs hanging out of his head, and he still continues. Guys like Vinny Pazienza, same thing. You have to beg him, please don't stop it. He would be saying to the guy, don't stop it, no matter what. And he's got a legitimate reason, blood dripping down, pouring down his face. And then you got to deal with guys like Nate Campbell who had to cut. I'm not saying it wasn't in his eye, but you know what? He was looking for a way out. Let's look at Marco Antonio Barrera. They could have stopped that fight as soon as with Amir Khan. They could have stopped that fight as soon as that blood started flowing. That was a devastating cut. That was a gruesome cut, but he didn't stop. They kept going, and finally they stopped that fight. Okay, but he didn't cry. He didn't say that he couldn't see. He could have very easily gotten out of it, and nobody could have complained. I'll give you another example recently. Victor Chenian in his loss. Okay, when Victor Chenian lost to Joseph King Kong Abeko, the bottom line was he got an unintentional headbutt. He had a severe cut. It was inside his eye. It was on his eyelid, and he continued. He fought for the rest of the fight. That I believe it happened right around the fourth round. He could have complained that he couldn't see, and that fight would have been ruled a no contest, but he didn't. He chose to be a warrior and continue to fight. That's the difference. That's what seems to be lacking in the sport today. It kind of makes me sick. I don't question any man, the manlyhood of any of these fighters for stepping into the ring to begin with. But you know what? When you make that decision to fight, you got to fight. You got to fight. You can't look for an easy way out. You can't assume the rules are going to help you. Nate Campbell had a blunder last night, and I hope it hurts him financially. They're talking about a rematch. We were already trying to get that into work. But just like Timothy Bradley said, the same thing's going to happen in the rematch. He's too fast. He's too strong. And Nate Campbell, quite honestly, is seen better days. So that takes care of that. Hey, listen, like I said, I'm running out of time. You got to tune into the radio show, www.talkinboxing.com. If you can't get up, and I know it's hard to get up early, 6 to 7:30 a.m. Eastern Time every single day like we do. I know you're still in your feety pajamas or thinking about Fruit Loops or oatmeal or whatever you're going to have for breakfast that morning. But you know what? Download a version of the podcast. There's two versions. You want the premium podcast. You know what? It's a convenience, and it costs $15 for the year. For the year. You get 250 shows plus all the specials. We do broadcasts. We're doing another show coming up in Canada. You get that all-inclusive with your premium subscription. If not, tune in. You get another 30, 35 minutes of the show, the first segments for nothing, or tune in live. Tune in live, www.talkinboxing.com, Monday through Friday, 6 to 7:30 a.m. Eastern Time. Join the chat room. If that's not good enough, call your radio station. If they don't have us already, tell them you want us, like they do in Youngstown, in Rochester, in Chicago, in Boston, and too many other places to announce. The one last thing I want to talk about is my Violence Inside the Ropes campaign. I have been very critical of Gary Shaw in the past, but on his statement that he made concerning the death of Vernon Forrest, God rest Vernon Forrest's soul, was a good guy in boxing. On his line that he said, the guns have to go, violence belongs inside the ropes, not outside them. It's just senseless. Maybe boxing ought to dedicate itself to keeping violence inside the ropes and try and send that message out to the world. Well, I agree with that. I reached out to Gary Shaw, and together we teamed up and we have formed the Violence Inside the Ropes campaign. Stay tuned. If you want to help it out, email my man Dave at talkinboxing.com, TALKIN boxing.com. Be part of it. We're going to tour the country. We're going to go to all the gyms. We're going to try and raise money for these gyms so that they can get these kids inside the ropes and tell them to put down the guns. Put down the guns. Pick up the gloves. That's the campaign. Hey, make sure you tune into the show Monday through Friday, 6 to 7:30 a.m. Eastern Time, www.talkinboxing.com. Otherwise, I'll see you here next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. Ciao.